Has there ever been a situation wherein you tap like on a particular product on Instagram, mention you're interested in buying it in one of your private conversations, then, out of nowhere, you suddenly start noticing advertisements about the said product showing up in your feed? One example, we decided that we wanted to get ourselves a new iPhone, and so we mentioned this to a friend, liked a post on Instagram featuring an Apple device, and read some phone reviews online. Then all of a sudden, whenever we visit other sites, we see ad banners offering discounts on new phone purchases and even offers of credit for such purchases. As cool as it may seem, the use of user data for marketing purposes without consent may constitute an invasion of privacy. We were intrigued at how this all works, and so we decided to learn more about the technology, especially now that more and more people are voicing their concerns about the perceived unauthorized surveillance by Instagram. Today, we will talk about how the most popular photo and video sharing app tracks your every action, listens to your private conversation, analyzes messages on direct, and possibly even spies on your personal life through your phone's camera. This video was created for educational purposes only. The main goal is to promote safe internet use to the general public. Any similarities to actual persons, living or not, entities, or situations are purely coincidental. Enjoy! Targeted ads on social media are ads that are directed towards a specific audience based on their behavior, location, and interests on these platforms. The ads that are shown in our feed, whether on Google, Yandex, or other social media platforms, are based solely on our behavior on these websites. For example, if you type in cheap laptop on Google search and then visit regular sites after, you will notice laptop advertisements following you everywhere. A similar advertising mechanism is also present on Instagram. The system analyzes your likes, subscription, and preferences. The only difference is how aggressive their marketing strategies are. So we mentioned that companies like Google show you targeted ads based on your web searches. It will show you ads for a new phone if you are actively looking for one online. But what if you do not deliberately search for products online, nor even mention wanting to buy anything during your regular conversations with friends on social media platforms? How will these giant internet companies figure out what ads to show you? Turns out that this isn't a problem for these companies at all. The multi-billion-dollar company, Instagram, can apparently just listen to your live conversations without you even knowing it. From whatever data they extract from your conversations, they then can figure out what targeted ads to show you. It sounds like a scene from a hugely popular Netflix series Black Mirror, but it has long been a reality, or at least as indicated in an article written by businessman Damian Lunue Diaz that was published in Medium. Some weeks ago, I saw an ad, sponsored post on Instagram that surprised me. It was about a product I never Googled, shared, liked, or talked about on any social media, even in direct messages. I had a bad intuition. The only time this product came up was in a random chat with a couple of friends in a cafe, and the only way for Instagram to know about this was to listen to my real-life conversations with the microphone. Could it be just some baseless conspiracy theory? Well, highly likely. However, he conducted an experiment to prove his theory. Quote, I was in Spain with my family and we went hiking from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at a 2,300 meter altitude, very partial 3G, and my phone was in my backpack, iPhone 7 Plus in a low battery mode. At some point, I was talking with my cousin in Spanish about a product I would like to buy, a micro projector connected in Bluetooth to share videos on a wall from any phone. I know that I never Googled it, shared some ideas about it, or wrote it on any digital platform. It was a total random discussion. That was a 5-minute talk. Then we talked about other topics. It was a 6-hour hike and many conversations happened, but the one about the micro projector was the only one referring to a specific product. The day after the hike, Damien logged on Instagram and was surprised and creeped out to find an ad on his feed for a micro projector. He stated that he switched between Spanish and French the whole duration of his conversation with his cousin for no less than 6 hours, but Instagram somehow still managed to learn about his interest in getting a specific product, which in this case is a micro projector. Could it be just a coincidence? Possibly. The entrepreneur then decided to investigate further to prove his own theory. Only 2 applications on his phone have access to his microphone, Instagram and WhatsApp, which coincidentally are both owned by Facebook. So theoretically, only these 2 apps have the ability to record or transmit whatever live conversation takes place near his device. He suspects that Instagram is recording when the app is running in the background, The audio stream is then translated into text, and then the system detects some patterns. The extracted data is then sent to get analyzed for possible marketing opportunities. All could be just an elaborate conspiracy. However, there is factual confirmation to this hypothesis. The article generated a huge amount of interest online, and so Huffington Post contacted the representatives of Facebook, the mother company of Instagram, to get their side, but they vehemently denied that they listened to conversations. Quote, Facebook does not use your phone's microphone to inform us about advertisements or to change what you see in your newsfeed. Some recent articles suggest that we listen to people's conversations in order to show them relevant ads. It is not true. We serve ads based on people's interests and do not use conversations to customize ads. After creating a social media firestorm, the author of the experiment released a second part of his article in which he attempted to answer all the questions and accusations made by his readers. He pointed out that he has no reason to create something fake and that he actually loves Instagram. A few weeks later, the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, attempted to give an explanation about the whole debacle. He proposed two reasons as to why we see ads related to previous conversations we had. The first one being just dumb luck. That is, the ad just magically coincided with the user's thoughts. Well, this does really happen, so we can't rule this out. The second reason is a little more complicated. According to him, quote, you might be talking about something because it's top of mind because you've been interacting with that type of content more recently. It's top of mind, maybe it's subconscious, and then it bubbles up later. Way back in 2016, a similar discussion about Facebook spying on its users' live conversation took place on Reddit. In a video uploaded by a Redditor, the man believes that Facebook is listening to his conversation, taking note of keywords, then putting in suggested ads. To prove his theory, he and his wife continuously spoke about cat food the whole day. They suggested that they needed to look for one because they're running out of supply. About 2 days later, a cat food advertisement started showing on his Facebook feed. He mentioned that it is important to note he never Googled cat food and that they have never had a cat in 20 years. The theory that Instagram may be listening to private conversations in order to more accurately display advertisements is not entirely baseless. Facebook has a patent that could actually make this somehow possible. The patent outlines a technology that makes it possible for a received voice input to be parsed and then compared to a library of words in their database. This technology can work both online and offline. However, it's important to note that there is no official statement from the company mentioning any use of the said technology. The modern world of marketing is mired in competition. It became much more difficult to achieve views, conversion, and most importantly, sales. Companies constantly test new strategies to increase conversion, one of which may be to eavesdrop on users through popular apps. Maybe not to the extent that we think, since servers would have to process hundreds of terabytes of information every minute. In July 2020, The Verge reported that some iOS 14 beta users are seeing the green camera on indicator while scrolling through their Instagram feed, but not taking photos or videos. This behavior of the phone really raises many questions. Why does the app automatically turn the camera on even if the user is not going to shoot a video or take a selfie? The new iOS 14 update makes it possible for iPhone users to see which application is accessing their cameras in real time. Some users in the comments said that they actually recorded automatic access to their cameras by Instagram as early as a year before. This only provoked a new wave of accusations of illegal spying against Instagram. Similar accusations were made against Facebook back in November 2019. It was reported that the app's developers fixed a bug in the iOS version of the app that automatically opens a user's camera without consent. In an email to The Verge, an Instagram spokesperson responded and denied the accusations. They said that the behavior was due to a bug. Quote, "We only talk to your camera when you let us. The development team has found and is fixing a bug in iOS 14 beta." Naturally, we can draw a worrying conclusion that Instagram indeed has been accessing cameras without permission all this time and was only caught because of the new iOS update. We managed to find similar discussions from concerned users that dates back to 2018, and that the Instagram app running in the background is the only possible culprit. The thing is, users have given Instagram the right to collect content, communication, and other information the moment they sign up. It collects location data, information on what type of device is being used, the network connection, and has access to the user's entire photo library, as indicated in their data policy. All these in exchange for the convenience of sharing pictures and the ease of connecting with others. The problem with allowing unfettered access to our data is the possibility of getting it shared and used by other platforms without consent. Take, for example, the app Who's in Town. This app basically lets you know if one of your friends are in the same place as you are. It sounds harmless and actually quite helpful. Imagine you're visiting a new city and you're wondering whether, by some chance, one of your friends is in the same place. This is all possible because Who's in Town uses the location data stored in your Instagram account. Such incredible amounts of user data can be dangerous if misused. Jason Palaskis, a security researcher at the University of Illinois, summarized the possible consequences of apps like this. Quote, "Aggregate location data can reveal sensitive information about a person's daily life. For example, when the exact time of leaving the house and the length of time at work. At first glance, banal timecode dots on the map can be used to stalk and identify social connections. Stakeholders and companies can use this information to identify hidden habits or qualities of an individual. For example, a medical insurance firm might scan the geotagging history of potential customers to compare how often they indicated that they frequent bars rather than the gym." The creator of the app is Eric Bartow, who also previously released ChatWatch, an application that allows you to spy on your own WhatsApp contacts. The developer said that his goal is to illustrate the wealth of sensitive data users willingly share on a public platform without considering the access that Instagram and outside developers have to it or what they could be doing with it. Quote, "People don't understand what they are sharing. They operate on the false assumption that their personal data is collected only for a few people, but they are generally available. The internet is full of similar softwares that allow someone to monitor the activities of another person. Again, made possible by the availability of massive amounts of information collected from social media networks and services. For informational purposes, let's briefly go through a few of them. The first one is a program aptly named Creepy and is designed to collect a user's geolocation based on their data collected on Google, Twitter, and Instagram. This can be called an improved version of Who is in Town, although the program in question was actually available long before Who is in Town. After entering a person's social media username, ID, or email address, the system analyzes the data and issues an accurate map of the user's movements. It sounds really creepy. The next program is FB Stalker. We can guess its purpose from the name alone. The software allows you to get a lot of data about a Facebook user, their videos, photos, posts, the number of received likes, a georeference map of all images and records, comment statistics, and the time at which the user usually uses the social platform. The collection tools are similar to the mechanics of the company's own system. Spy softwares like these are constantly evolving and taking new forms. The most interesting part is that these softwares are easily accessible to the public. One can easily track another person's movements without the need for any special training or a huge amount of money. It's enough to just read the instructions, watch simple training videos, and have a good sense for analyzing data. Who's to blame, really? Well, it's hard to say. Yes, navigating modern society without accessing or joining social media networks, forum chats, and instant messengers is almost close to impossible. However, each of us should make a conscious effort to limit the amount of data we share. Not long ago, Facebook was embroiled in a political and ethical scandal when it was unraveled that it had sold the data of millions of users to Cambridge Analytica, data that are believed to have influenced the results of the 2016 U.S. elections. For those who are interested to know more about Facebook's influence in the 2016 U.S. elections, we recommend that you read the in-depth article written by Wired about the topic and also to watch the movie The Big Hack. The ideal way to protect yourself is simply delete your social media accounts and switch to anonymous messaging platforms. However, as we've mentioned, this is unrealistic as almost everyone is subconsciously dependent on devices. You can somehow limit the possibility of getting monitored by disabling the app's access to your mic and camera and location, enabling them only when you need to take a photo or video. Well, this sounds inconvenient, but really a small price to pay if we want more control over our privacy. Unless we abandon social media altogether, fighting targeted ads is clearly impossible and is really not necessary since the positive aspects of it greatly outweigh the negative ones. Companies in any case will read your messages, phone records, locations, and other pertinent data in the name of profit. As long as you use their services, you agree to their terms and conditions. In all fairness, this sort of thing is not exclusive to Instagram. Almost all large companies utilize our data in one way or another. This is just how the current state of the internet is designed. Obviously, listening to private conversations and randomly turning on cameras are gross violations of privacy, but if our every step is monitored by many other organizations, then this overreach is the norm, not the other way around. As always, if you liked our video, support us by hitting the like button. We'd also like to know your thoughts about the topic of privacy and the lack of it on social media platforms. Let us know your thoughts on the comment section below. This was Project Any Name. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.